What's up, guys? Today, I hope you are ready to have some fun. I got 3 killer backyards for you that are all going to check the boxes. Let's go. What's going on? I'm Bobby K. I'm a professional landscape designer, general contractor, and I'm a family man. And I'll tell you, if you're gonna have a backyard like the 3 I'm gonna show you, you're gonna entertain, you're gonna have family and friends over. So let's get into it. First thing I want to talk about with this is, let's talk about the hardscaping material. Now, when I say hardscape, what I really mean is retaining walls, patios, anything that is a hard material. So this is what we did on this one. Got a beautiful pool. The shell was here. We have done everything else here. This is called stamp colored concrete. Essentially, it is a blend that is dyed of whatever color that you want. I would focus on the architecture of the house, which is why we went with the grayscale. And then you're gonna take a texture mat and make it whatever pattern you want. This is just kind of that rough, kind of rocky, tumbled look. You could do brick, you could do multi-piece pavers, you could do whatever you want, but you stamp it in there and then boom, this is what you get. Let's talk about something else. Right here is a seating wall of some hardscape material with columns. The reason we did this is we had some grade going down the hillside and we wanted to obviously have everything at a certain elevation that it all works together, it's flat and it holds it in. By putting in this wall and softening it with this evergreen hedge, we got some green velvet boxwoods here, we created a zone. This is what I would call zone number 1, the pool zone. You swim, you got the water feature, you got your new concrete, you have a backdrop of a little bit of intimacy. Now I want to show you zone 2. Okay, so minus the cicadas and the guys cutting grass, I hope you can hear about this. This is the zone where you hang out, you party, you do your thing, right? This is an outdoor structure with a gable style roof. You can do a lean-to style, you can do a gable, you can do ones that attach, you can do pergolas, but we wanted to make sure we cut down on the sun so that you weren't getting fried. So let's go down here. So there's a couple things I want to address. Notice how I am stepping down right now. Super, super important. This was all hillside and it was great. And I was like, what a cool opportunity to create a sunken destination, a sunken zone. So that's what we did. Coming over here, there's a couple things design-wise I want to point out. Of course, we had that elevation, but what we did is created zones. We got another zone over here where you can do outdoor dining. And then you come down a couple more steps, you're in a fire pit destination. So you can hang out and then you can go over to the fire pit. But here's the design element I want to talk about. This right here is essentially kind of that shiplap feel, that Chip and Joanna Gaines thing, right? But we went over to something that is a walnut. We also tied it in with the ceiling. So we got tongue and groove ceiling here. You got can lights, you got a ceiling fan. You're not gonna get fried. It's gonna be very comfortable. Here we have speakers. It's the whole 9 yards. But here is the trick. This right here, it's mini wax. We've seen it a million times, right? But it's all about the stain, and then it's all about the sealer. By taking these products and then producing a couple of different options for your client, they're gonna pick out the one that they want. You're gonna pick out the one you want, and you're gonna stain this. Typically, you could take a brush or you take a lamb cloth and you swipe it on there. I like 2 coats, and then you could even do a seal on that. And with the seal, you can do a matte finish, or you can do a high gloss finish that's gonna make it look wet, which is really, really cool. I personally like that. I have that at my house. But look at the quality of this mini wax stain. Look how incredible this looks, and it goes so well with breaking up this backyard. We got a lot of grays. Now we have this, this is that dark walnut that I talked about. It really creates a different vibe and feel when you're under here in this zone. Great product. All right, let's come back up the stairs and I wanna show you the final zone. It's just a cute little intimate zone, but it's effective. We got an outdoor kitchen here and we put this lean style structure. So now you can see gable style, lean-to style. These are different types of styles for structures. But what I like about this is the way the sun comes through here, this provides shade. So when you're out here, you're grilling, you do your Blackstone, you got your pizza oven here, it's comfortable. You gotta think about sun and shade when you're doing all this. And let's be honest, we got a box that's kind of exposed here. That's how people live. It's not always gonna be staged, it's not always gonna be beautiful, but You could put a door on here and you'd never see any of this, just like we got doors here with the propane tank that fires this up. The last thing I want to show you is this stucco finish. We actually dyed the stucco to give it this charcoaly kind of feel, which really makes this pizza oven pop off the page. All in, this is a pretty big job. We know this, but you can do this in phases. So if you were looking to do something like this, focus on maybe this upper hardscape area, then maybe you get to a structure area, then maybe you throw in that kitchen when you're ready. It's going to number 2. All right, we're at number 2. This project's really, really cool because it led to lots and lots of work for reasons that we're gonna get into. First thing is, if you liked anything that you saw in that last project, make sure you smash the like button. That's all I ever ask with these videos, and make sure you stick around to the end because I got a little giveaway for you, and I'm gonna tell you how much all this stuff costs. But let's get into this project, and let's start with the hardscaping. The cicadas are blasting away. I hope you can hear me. So let's talk about this. I want to talk about zones. We did talk about zones in the last one. We got some zones here. First zone is a fire pit zone. A cool little design thing that you can do, or ask of your contractor, whatever, is an inlay. We have an inlay of a darker border, a sailor border, which also frames out all of the hardscaping here. Now the difference between the hardscaping here and the last project, we had stamp colored concrete there. Here we have pavers. So with pavers, you want to put them on a clean rock base and then a smaller clean, and you're going to set your pavers and sweep in a polymeric sand. These are a little bit more expensive than the last one because there's so many different options and color variations and whatnot versus pouring a bunch of concrete and doing a stamp. However, these are going to last longer because in concrete, you're going to get hairline cracks and you're going to get shifting. It's just going to happen. Taxes in concrete, sure things. Concrete's gonna crack, you're gonna pay taxes. Just think about that way when you think about concrete. I wanna get real with you. Let's talk about what it's really like with a backyard patio. This couple, they now have a kid. We did this project 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. It's been a minute. Outdoor furniture, it's not always exposed. It is a good idea to get protective gear, cushions, for when the trees are dumping a bunch of stuff, when there's dead cicadas flying out of the air, whatever it is. Make sure you protect your investment. I love that. Over here, you will see that we also have some outdoor furniture that is a composite, so it can be exposed to sun, rain, whatever. Get good quality furniture. Get stuff that can last and take the weather. Over here, we've got another destination. This is a focal point. Focal point is gonna draw your eye. This actually lights up fire at night in the water, and there's a basin there. So we got water, fire, hardscape material, lots of curves, open concept, different lounge and dining areas. This is how you stage all this stuff. Let's go to the third one, and then I'm gonna reveal some numbers. All right, we're at number 3, and I gotta be honest, my energy has gone down a smidge, and I will tell you why. Come on over here, this is important. Right here, we have a bench dedicated to somebody very special to me, obviously, this man's family. His name was Keith. He was a longtime subscriber of the channel. We finally got to do a project together, and let me just kind of bring it home. See this ramp going up here? Well, it's on purpose, and the reason we did the concrete here, which I'm gonna get into, was because he had a disease. Keith basically went very quickly into a wheelchair. He lost his mobile functioning, and he passed about 3 months ago. And it is absolutely heartbreaking. So, it sounds kind of weird to say, but let's give a bunch of likes and love for Keith. You know what I mean? Let's just let this part of the video shine because I love the guy, and I wanted to do a really good job for him, and it's a shame that it happened and then he happened, and that's where we're at on this. But let's talk about what we did for Keith and his family before he passed. So what we've got is a big driveway, and I want to talk about concrete here. We got the ramp. Obviously, he was wheelchair access. He had to get up there. And then we did something to give a little pizzazz by doing some stepping stones which I think is really cool how we did all these neat curves and we went from mulch, bam, over to grass. And boy, does that say a statement. This house used to be brick, now it's like a white gray, and we've got this beautiful transition coming up here. So obviously for those who have no problem walking, we got that. Those who obviously need wheelchair access, we've got that covered as well. Did a brush finish concrete, goes very well with the color of the house, and it's the most cost-effective thing on the market. So let's start talking numbers here. Brush finished. You can, I would say it depends on the size, of course, of the square footage, but anywhere between $10 to $16 a square foot, I think that's a pretty good range. Let's go back to project number 1. We were talking about stamp colored concrete. A little bit more in depth, a little bit more expensive on that. That's going to be anywhere between 18 to maybe 24, 25 on the high side. And then finally, those pavers on project number 2, you're going to expect anywhere between, I'd say, $28 to $32 a square foot. And of course, you get into some crazy pavers that can go up. These are all options, but now you know the options and you know how much it's going to cost. Right down below, I want to hear in the comments, which one do you like the best? Brush finish? You like stamp colored? Or do you like pavers? And then I got this giveaway for you. All this started with the design, all 3 projects. Before we even started anything, they knew what the finished product was going to look like. If you are interested in getting a Bobby K design, go below. I'm going to give you off 25%. And you just got to type in the subject line, we're getting into summer and it's breezy. How about Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts? Let's go with that. This is Bobby K saying creation is everything, so go out and create. Love you, Keith.